Coming up on AgweekTV, the biofuel industry reacts to the EPA's new blending volume rates. A pest is plaguing the region's alfalfa fields.
We'll take a look at the latest in spraying technology.
And we'll visit some farms that proudly display Old Glory all year long. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. The Biden administration increased the amount of biofuels that oil refiners must blend into the nation's fuel mix over the next 3 years, but the plan missed the mark of the biofuel industry. The EPA has finalized the biofuel blending volumes from 2023 through 2025, but the finalized volumes only include 15 billion gallons of conventional biofuels in all 3 years. Both the Minnesota Soybean Growers Association and Minnesota Biodiesel Council said they were dismayed by the extremely underwhelming volumes that they said were roughly 1/3 of the amount recommended by industry advocates. John Deere is among the industry leaders trying to make spraying technology smarter and more efficient. In this week's AgWeek cover story, Jenny Schleck reports on how it's expected to pay off in time and money saved for farmers and less spray residue for the environment.
Features like cameras with artificial intelligence and dual tanks could make spraying a field like this a lot more efficient. Gooseneck Implement recently was able to try out some of John Deere's latest spraying technology to see how it might work in the northern plains.
So you can see where our corn's at, and then everywhere that's blue is some kind of reflective green material.
Jim Campbell is watching 36 camera views on the screen of the John Deere See & Spray Ultimate. He's a product support manager at Gooseneck, which is one of the dealerships nationwide that's testing this new equipment. The blue is weeds, and the system's job is to find and spray them. The Ultimate also has 2 spray tanks.
So we could have one product in one tank and an entirely different chemistry in another tank, and those each feed half of our nozzle bodies.
John Deere is among a number of companies trying to make spraying technology smarter and more efficient. Product manager Brian Uran says the effort is expected to pay off for farmers in time and money.
The combination of the solution system, a 2-tank system, and with the vision cameras on it, it gets growers thinking of chemical savings or not spraying the entire field of what we're used to, but also with combinations of different chemicals that maybe we want to separate and how we want to spray them.
Dalton Miskey farms about 7,000 acres near Webo, Montana. He's among the farmers who got to try out the See & Spray Ultimate. He already uses an earlier version of this technology, so he thinks it's important for the future of his farm.
With the new technology coming down the pipeline, it's good to be at the leading edge of it.
For now, the system is used on corn, soybeans, and cotton, while the earlier version only could be used on fallow ground. Near Webo, Montana, this is Jenny Schlecht for AgWeek.
You can read much more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Blister beetles are showing across the region and feeding on alfalfa fields. Adult blister beetles are attracted to blooming alfalfa fields and weeds. Blister beetle larvae feed on grasshopper eggs. The grasshopper population has been high this year in North Dakota, causing an uptick in adult blister beetles this season. If consumed by livestock, blister beetles can cause severe inflammation and even death in horses.
We're thinking about haying. We might want to hay a little earlier to minimize the potential for those blister beetles to be in that alfalfa field. So at the 5 to 10% bloom stage instead of farther along where we would traditionally hay.
If livestock does come in contact with blister beetles, Meehan urges producers to call their vet immediately. More than 2,000 people attended the South Dakota Cattlemen's Foundation 10th Annual Primetime Gala in Sioux Falls to associate with other producers and support a good cause. Over the years, the event has raised some $2 million for Feeding South Dakota, providing more than 1.5 million pounds of beef for families in need.
Such a neat partnership because the producers care about their neighbors, and not only are they feeding the world, they're feeding our state and our local people. So being able to take food from the farm to the table and to the tables of those who need it most is just a really neat partnership.
They also raised funds this year to go towards furthering the Cattlemen's Foundation scholarship programs and educational opportunities, like the Fed Cattle Challenge.
We really put a major emphasis on education, supporting the next generation of beef industry participants. And so what we really see is a growth in educational programming, both scholarships as well as other youth activities that tie them directly into production.
This year, the Gala raised over $332,000 for Feeding South Dakota, bringing the 10-year total to nearly $2.5 million. During the event, they also gave out $15,000 in scholarships to 5 college students. Up next on AgweekTV, a Minnesota cheese plant is expanding to meet our demand for cheese.
Get a jump on next season's crop. Before you put your planter away after the planting season, bring it to the experts at Titan Machinery for a full inspection. Titan Machinery service technicians have the experience and training to inspect your Case IH planter and get it in optimal condition for next season. Get a head start on next season and get the peace of mind that your planter is ready when you store it for the winter. Contact the planter experts at your local Titan Machinery Case IH dealership today.
You've worked hard this planting season to get your crops in, with a large investment to match. What happens if they get damaged by hail? Will your NPCI coverage be enough to protect your investment? Martinson Ag can help. We offer hail insurance policies from 5 different companies, so we can find the one that fits your operation best. Don't wait until it's too late. Call the risk management specialists at Martinson Ag today and see how we can help protect your crops and your bottom line. Martinson Ag, the risk management specialists.
Tanks, sprayers, nurse trailers, fertilizer equipment, and parts. That's just some of what we do at Ag Spray Equipment and have done for over 50 years. We take pride in being the industry leader in liquid handling equipment, and we encourage you to reach out to your local Ag Spray Equipment location in Fargo to see our complete lineup of offerings. We stand behind our products because we stand for you, the farmer. Ag Spray Equipment, north of Fargo on I-29, exit 69, or online at agspray.com.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
The Prairie Revolution Ditcher is the new standard for surface water management. The Revolution Ditcher leaves a smooth finished 5-foot flat bottom cut and cuts up to 10 inches in one pass. Throw dirt in either direction, up to 165 feet. Now with the hydraulic cross auger to break up dirt and keep you working faster. Check out the Revolution Ditcher at Prairie.com.
People keep eating more cheese, and one Minnesota plant is growing to keep up with that demand. The average American eats about 40 pounds of cheese a year. The Bongards plant in Perham, Minnesota will soon be turning 5.5 million pounds of milk into cheese every day. Bongards Creamery started in 1908 in Bongards, Minnesota. Today, the cooperative is made up of 274 dairy farms, all in Minnesota except for one in North Dakota. The plant has been growing sales and production since the start. The largest growth has come in the last decade as major expansions began. Plant manager Justin Larson says they want to continue to be more efficient for their producers.
We work for the dairy farmers, and our farmers continue to want to grow, and this is just an opportunity for them to expand their operations.
You can find Bongards cheese at the grocery store in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. But Larson says 99% of their sales are to service industries, including such restaurants as McDonald's, Panera, Burger King, Sonic, and Chipotle. Hundreds of college students gathered from around 40 schools across the Midwest to gain hands-on crop scouting experience with the chance to win scholarships during Ag PhD Scouting and Scholarships event in Baltic, South Dakota.
These college students are getting an up-close look at issues they could see in their crops through conversations by experienced Hefty seed agronomists.
The whole point is we want to get them out in the field a little bit. We break them up into different stations, and we'll teach them just a little bit on corn, a little bit on soybeans, a little bit on scouting, soil testing, a whole bunch of different topics.
It's a lot different than learning in the classroom because they can tell you about it, but actually getting the visual and having someone hand around things, doing hands-on activities, I feel like more prepared to actually do it myself rather than just reading about it in a book.
It also gives students a chance to ask all their questions.
Sometimes it's, hey, my dad wanted me to ask you this, or other times it's, I'm just getting going and this is what I'm seeing. I've got this problem. I would like to do this. I just need help. And there are so many things that people get, unfortunately, bad advice anymore. So we're trying to make sure that we sort through that.
It's a whole learning opportunity. I mean, today alone, I've learned a whole bunch. It's a good opportunity, really.
The tissue sampling I've never actually done before. I've done like soil sampling, and so it was nice to like actually have your hands on the plant and like learn what leaf to take and how many we need to send in and everything like that. And so that was something new that I've never experienced before.
Helping to build the next generation of agriculturalists, one field scouting station at a time.
The younger generation is the future, and the big thing is we have a lot of challenges in agriculture. So my brother Darren and I, we grew up on the farm, we've been involved in our farming operation our whole lives, and we're trying to do the right thing as we try to give back to that younger generation.
It's definitely worth it because you get the hands-on aspect, and then you also get to make new friends and get new connections.
At the event this year, they also gave more than 100 college scholarships to the attendees. An historic farm right in the city of Rochester, Minnesota is getting a big upgrade for visitors. The Stoppel farmstead was established in the 1850s by George and his brother Joseph, who immigrated from Germany. Preservation has just been finished on the Smokehouse on the property. It's considered to be one of the most unique agricultural structures in the state. The Smokehouse, along with the barn and stone house, have been on the National Register of Historic Places since 1975. It's now owned and operated by the History Center of Olmsted County. Executive Director Wayne Gainaway says the site is an important piece of ag and immigration history for visitors to enjoy.
All of those are really immersive experiences that you can't get from listening to a podcast or YouTube video about history. The best way to experience history is to go to the place where it happened.
Rochester Mayor Kim Norton says it's an important piece of the city's history.
We're a bit of a big city or growing city, so it's really fun to have the kind of this little piece of history and farm preserved right here within the city limits.
Preservation of the Smokehouse costs about $345,000. Most of that came from a state legacy grant. Gainaway says there's still about $3 million worth of work to do on the rest of the farmstead. Ahead on AgweekTV, growers may be missing an important macronutrient.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Some things in life are hard. That's why banking shouldn't be. Cornerstone Bank.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Bremer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
Since the inception of Vatterstadt, the spirit of innovation has led the company. We push the limits, providing innovative and reliable seeding and tillage solutions that simplify everyday life for farmers. We continue to reimagine the capabilities and technology behind farm machinery, providing customers with a perfect emergence while maximizing their yields. We look forward to growing together.
AgWeek weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Can we expect favorable weather for the 4th of July? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
The northern plains region of the country, specifically North Dakota, quite frankly, spent much of the first part of this growing season warmer than average and much drier than average, and things were really setting up for what looked like, for all practical purposes, a drought. But big rain system last weekend, back in June, did bring some widespread rainfall. And since that time, we've been seeing periodic storm chances. It's not like it's a totally wet pattern, but we got wet in the northern plains, and now we seem to be having more storms to feed that. Old farmer's adage, water makes water, and there is some truth to that. You get some humidity in the topsoil that does make more moisture available for more storms. It's not the only reason, but the pattern is favoring it as well. With the rains comes warm weather, but not as hot as it was, certainly not warmer than average. There'll be the occasional 90-degree day, but nothing unusual. The real heat is going to be down in the southwest. We're just before the monsoon season, so this part of the country is hot, 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 not getting much humidity at all, not much chance of rain at all. So the Mojave Desert, Phoenix, Southern California, away from the ocean, those places are going to be a lot of temperatures in the 110s and 120s. This first weekend, fairly warm weather, near 90, getting up into the northern plains, but as this little dip in the jet moves through, that's going to sag southward, spread itself out, a little smear down through the western edge of the corn and bean belt, while warm temperatures work up into Quebec. Forest fire problem not going away there. And later on in the week, you'll see some ridging taking place across western Canada, which will pull some of that warm weather back up toward the other part of Canada that's been seeing a lot of wildfires. So that situation will not improve. The jet stream itself by the end of the week setting up in kind of a dual west to east pattern, fairly lethargic, not a lot of huge storm systems, just a few areas favorable for scattered thunderstorms, seasonal for July. There will be a little bit of trough ridging action in the northern plains for that second week of July, and all that will do is just continue the chance for scattered thunderstorms over the northern plains and the Great Lakes. A lot of the country not seeing a tremendous amount of weather. As far as the precipitation pattern goes, for the 4th of July, that's not a day forecast, but the days around 4th of July week, there will be scattered showers, thunderstorms across much of the northern and central plains, and the Gulf Coast and East Coast areas will see some areas of rain. Nothing at all expected over the southwest. West Texas all the way to California should continue to be parched. The second week of this pattern, again, not necessarily a wetter than average pattern, just the occasional day with thunderstorms and enough to kind of keep that going. Early in the summer, rains in the northern plains were sporadic. Now it looks like they'll be a bit more regular, and even though many areas of the Corn Belt will be rather warmish on temperatures, we're keeping them supplied with rain, which will be good for the corn and the beans.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
The Prairie Revolution Ditcher is the new standard for surface water management. The Revolution Ditcher leaves a smooth finished 5-foot flat bottom cut and cuts up to 10 inches in one pass. Throw dirt in either direction, up to 165 feet. Now with the hydraulic cross auger to break up dirt and keep you working faster. Check out the Revolution Ditcher at Prairie.com.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Brimmer Bank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
For fertilizer, farmers normally think about N, P, and K, but they might want to start thinking about S for sulfur. Carl Wyant, Director of Agronomy at Nutrien, a Canadian-based fertilizer company, says sulfur is the fourth macronutrient that growers need to make sure they're incorporating properly into their fertility plans. In the past, farmers were able to get more sulfur naturally through the air. He discussed the topic at the Cultivate conference in Fargo.
The last 5 to 10 years, sulfur's jumped on a lot of growers' radars. And that's because we've cleaned a lot of the sulfur out of the air. Thanks to the 1970 Clean Air Act that Nixon signed, we're now scrubbing a lot of the sulfur out of coal-fired plants and other pollution sources. So on the good side, we have less sulfur pollution, we have less acid rain. But in terms of your growers, you're getting less free sulfur that's coming back down to the ground, and that's a free fertilizer source.
Research at Purdue University shows a sulfur deficiency can cost corn growers 11 bushels per acre in yield loss. Glean for Good Farms is bringing the community together to be surrounded by the peaceful countryside and to share all their farm has to offer. Owner Beth Jensen and her husband Matt both have traditional day jobs in Sioux Falls, but they enjoy the countryside and wanted to move to the farm. They are sharing their abundance with everyone who visits.
Our farm's motto is, those with abundance have no extra, and those with little have enough. So we're always looking for ways to find extras that we can repurpose or help give to other people.
The farm has a 2-acre fruit forest where it lets community members harvest farm fresh fruit. But the new thing they are bringing to people to the farm is through goat yoga classes.
You can't not have a good time. And it's a whole nother way of doing yoga where you get to be in the grass and connect with the animals. And it's so joyful.
Each Thursday, the farm welcomes dozens of goat yoga participants. The farm also plans to start adding more community events, including farm-to-table style meals and partnering with local restaurants and breweries. Still ahead on AgWeek TV, we'll give you a look at some of the biggest displays of patriotism on area farms.
The Prairie Revolution Ditcher is the new standard for surface water management. The Revolution Ditcher leaves a smooth finished 5-foot flat bottom cut and cuts up to 10 inches in one pass. Throw dirt in either direction, up to 165 feet. Now with the hydraulic cross auger to break up dirt and keep you working faster. Check out the Revolution Ditcher at Prairie.com.
You've worked hard this planting season to get your crops in, with a large investment to match. What happens if they get damaged by hail? Will your NPCI coverage be enough to protect your investment? Martinson Ag can help. We offer hail insurance policies from 5 different companies, so we can find the one that fits your operation best. Don't wait until it's too late. Call the risk management specialists at Martinson Ag today and see how we can help protect your crops and your bottom line. Martinson Ag, the risk management specialists.
Tanks, sprayers, nurse trailers, fertilizer equipment, and parts. That's just some of what we do at Ag Spray Equipment and have done for over 50 years. We take pride in being the industry leader in liquid handling equipment, and we encourage you to reach out to your local Ag Spray Equipment location in Fargo to see our complete lineup of offerings. We stand behind our products because we stand for you, the farmer. Ag Spray Equipment, north of Fargo on I-29, exit 69, or online at agspray.com.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
Get a jump on next season's crop. Before you put your planter away after the planting season, bring it to the experts at Titan Machinery for a full inspection. Titan Machinery service technicians have the experience and training to inspect your Case IH planter and get it in optimal condition for next season. Get a head start on next season and get the peace of mind that your planter is ready when you store it for the winter. Contact the planter experts at your local Titan Machinery Case IH dealership today.
This is the time of year we see Old Glory proudly waving everywhere. But many farmers like to put their patriotism on display all year round. And every year at this time, we like to show you some of those displays. Ronald and Ardith D. Young of Orange City, Iowa put this giant flag on their hog shed when the roof had to be replaced in 2011. Jason Lovis had the idea to put this giant 12 by 20 foot flag on a grain bin at his farm near Hillsboro, North Dakota. We stopped by to see it in 2018. Drivers can see it from I-29, so Jason says it's not unusual for people to stop for a better look and to thank him for putting it up.
I've been surprised at how many people have stopped by the shop just to thank us and show their support and to kind of congratulate us on the idea of putting up a flag. There's certainly a fair amount of political tension in this country, and we need to remember that we're all Americans. That was maybe part of my goal or thought behind the flag.
If you know of an impressive flag display, let us know. You might see it on AgweekTV next year around the 4th of July. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. See how one Minnesota family has grown their red and white Holstein herd in the northwest part of the state. And a North Dakota family turned a neighboring property into an Airbnb that offers guests a glimpse into country living. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful 4th of July, everyone.